Repetition creates reflexes. When I used to play baseball, one of the things that we learned was repetition's powerful. I remember one of the best players on our team, his name was Brandon, and one of the reasons he was so good at hitting, he would hit home runs all the time, and just had a great baseball career, was because he would swing so many times. He would set goals and try to do like 1,000 swings a day or something like that, and he would just continually, repetitively, even with his dad would pitch to him in a batting cage, and he would just be hitting longer than all of us. And he wasn't really the strongest guy. He wasn't didn't really have a natural gift, but he put a lot of work in with the repetition. He became one of the best players on the team, and he went on to excel in sports. And you see, repetition creates a reflex. And same thing as in the outfield. Same thing with all sports. The more you repeat something, the quicker you are to just reflexively respond in that way. With boxing, a boxer, a lot of it is just their reflexes are so strong. They see a punch, they know exactly which way to turn, they know exactly how to duck, they know exactly where to jab, because they've been doing it so often that their reflexes, their natural response is exactly what it needs to be. Maybe you've heard the statement cat-like reflexes, where someone's like just able to kind of dodge a situation. And the reality is that our repetition can be boring. Reading the Bible can feel mundane at times. Like sometimes we're not going to leave our Bible study, jumping around, praising, saying, "Oh, I have this crazy revelation." Like sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. But even when we don't, it's creating in you a repetition, which is a good thing, which therefore will actually lead to your reflexes, even when you don't see the big change over time. I think about the movie Karate Kid, right? Great movie. Mr. Miyagi's training Daniel-san, and a lot of what Daniel-san has to do is repetitious and seems boring. It seems like it's not really doing too much. That amazing scene comes on where Mr. Miyagi starts throwing punches, and Daniel-san's able to reflexively respond because of all the training and repetition he did. You see, I just want to encourage you that your repetition is powerful. Your consistency matters. Your devotion to God is important. Whether you feel like there's a huge change going on or not, it's creating in you reflexes. So how do these reflexes show? Here's how they show. When you go through a trial, if you have that repetition of going to God with everything, guess what? When the trial comes, you're going to cling even more to God. Instead of abandoning God, your reflex is going to be like Job's reflex. Though he slays me, I will trust him. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He gives and takes away, but blessed be his name. Your reflex when someone curses you out, when someone betrays you, hurts you, wounds you, your reflex is going to be to forgive because you've been cultivating a gentle heart. Your reflex when something happens in your life that's negative is going to be positive. It's going to be godly because you've been cultivating that over time. Right? Your reflex when someone abandons you is going to be to cling to the Lord. Your reflex when someone criticizes you is going to be to bless those who persecute you. And this is important because it happens in the unseen. Many things happen, not dramatically, but slowly. Think about grass that grows. You don't see it grow, but it's growing every day. Millimeters, centimeters. But eventually, it's funny, as a landscaper, I cut the grass, and a week goes by, and it's like super high, and it's like, wow, that was fast. And no one looks at their lawn and looks at it for 30 minutes. It's like, oh my gosh, the grass grew today. No, it's a week later when he starts, oh yeah, it's ready for a cut. Got really high. If you keep trying to watch yourself too closely and expect everything to be dramatic, you're going to be discouraged. Your spiritual life is kind of like grass growing. And there's times that I'm telling you, there's times where the Holy Spirit will overwhelm you with his love. He'll pour out revelation from the word, and you're going to feel so joyful. It's going to be amazing. And we should have those moments. But sometimes that's not the case. It's a long journey. It's a marathon. And so don't be discouraged if there's not an exciting moment every time you spend time with God. And if you spend time with your wife or your husband, if you're married or you're dating, it's not going to be like every single time you talk, you're jumping all over the place with excitement. It might be. Most of the time you're having a conversation, maybe you're talking about, how you're going to plan for, your kids going to school, or how you're going to work on keeping the house clean, or maybe you're talking about, what groceries we need. Like, maybe that's not super, super exciting, but that's building the relationship. It's building the connection. So same thing with God. Maybe you're just talking to him about how your day's going, and you're not really feeling anything. Guess what? Keep talking to him. Keep talking to him. He hears you. And those repetitions, the connection is building in a reflex. It's building in a knowing of him. And I want to have godly reflexes so that I respond with grace and I trust him no matter what happens in my life. So just endure, keep going. You're not doing anything wrong if you're not feeling, super pumped up every second of your life. Okay? I just want to encourage you with that. I'm going to put a link in my description of a great article I read that inspired me to make this video. So check it out.